every single day. Get better. Put your head down, grind in the darkness, and then when the light comes, rise, fam. You got this. Keep going.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering the price action of February 26, 2024, and a huge day for me in the market today. Had a total of 3 trades during market hours and 2 trades in Asia session and one that I let run over last night. All were wins, so overall for 5 for 5. To be transparent, the ones overnight were paper trades, so those were not actual trades that I get financial kickback from on any of my accounts. But all the trades during New York session today were on live accounts. So a huge day, and I just want to run through all the plays that I took today. 2 of them were using the model that I teach here on this channel, and the other 2 were based on my last couple videos following hourly market structure with 5-minute entries. But before we get into that, I just want to give you guys a heads up by first saying this is not financial advice in any way. After that, make sure you guys give me a follow on Twitter at NuxTrades. Give me a follow on Twitter at NuxTrades. Be sure to join my Discord, link in my bio. I narrate price action as we go through. It's all free, everything's free in there. And lastly, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like these videos. It helps me to push out the algo to get this free content to more people. And if you're looking to get a funded account, please use my Apex link in the bio. 80% off right now. So if you're looking to start your live trading account journey, it's a perfect place to start. So yeah, now let's get into the video. So first thing I want to look at is the trade that I took last night on ES. And these trades were both on ES and NQ. So we're going to be looking at both those. So first thing we got is this fair value gap right here. And what do we do? So do you notice how I see all of this liquidity? And what are we doing? We're following hourly structure, right? Hourly structure. So we have this 1 hour fair value gap right here. And what do I see? I see all of these lows right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-ish lows all in this area. Okay. So I'm seeing these 4 lows right here, and I'll put this in red. So I'm seeing these 4 lows, and these look like great liquidity targets. So this looks a liquidity raid to me. Perfect hourly fair value gap right here. So I'm looking for us to take this liquidity, draw into this hourly fair value gap, and then pump out of it. And what am I doing after I identify hourly structure? I'm using 5-minute time frame standard off of. So let's go back to last night and find that entry. So where does it happen? Boom, right here. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful entry right there. Perfect. No inverse. My bad. Perfect fair value gap right here. 1, 2. And what happens? I want to ride it at least up to this high. So I'll show you what that RR would have looked like. And got just under 10 handles off of it. Right there. And this one I did just let run while I was asleep. So I think I went to bed almost at midnight. So I was down a little bit when I went to bed. But London ended up getting us there, which was perfect. Um, a really good trade overnight. Again, just identifying the hourly structure and then looking for 5-minute entries off of that, right? So we're looking for 5-minute fair value gaps. And on this one, we actually did have a market structure shift. So if you look at, and I'm going to move this over, we know the hourly fair value gaps right here, and we know liquidity rates are right here. So if we look, we actually do have a market structure shift right here. And why is this a market structure shift? So this is a textbook market structure shift because it's the last high that's put in before the low is made. So last high before the low is made right here. And what do? We close above it and we inverse this fair value gap too. So now we have market structure shift plus inverse fair value gap. So I mean, you could technically enter off of this inverse fair value gap, enter at the close of this fair value gap, which would have got you almost the exact same entry as the regular fair value gap, just right here. So We have market structure, inverse fair value gap, hourly fair value gap right there. Everything was pointing bullish and perfect entry, and we just let it ride overnight. And we ended up getting there at approximately 6:25 a.m. So just before I woke up. Yeah, so that was the first trade we took. Or I shouldn't say first trade. First trade we'll cover. So I think what I'll do is I'll go through ES first, all of ES price action today, and then I'll go back and flip over to NQ and show you the entries on NQ that I took. So first, this play right here was play number one. Second play of the day, what do we have? So we get this 9:30 raid, liquidity raid right here, and no hourly no hourly fair value gap to support this play. This is my model, and if you're interested in seeing my model, I will pin it right here so you can watch the video on how I trade my model and what my model consists of. But so if we go over to the hourly now, we're not really identifying any hourly fair value gaps right here. I mean, it's just prices delivered pretty efficiently through here. No hourly fair value gaps, right? So what makes me want to take this? So I see that we've taken all of the overnight liquidity, right? So let me get rid of this. So I see that we've taken all of overnight liquidity. So overnight liquidity would be from here all the way over. We've taken all the overnight liquidity. All of these highs are stopped out. And if we flip out to the 15, what does this look like? What does this look like on the 15-minute? And if you can't identify it, watch the video that I posted. I'll link that here too. What does this look like to me? So this looks like accumulation on the 15-minute here. So accumulation, and then this looks like manipulation leg to me. And then this looks like the distribution leg back to the low to me. So that looks like an AMD leg. I'm seeing us happen to stop out all of the highs from the overnight session, and then we get a market structure shift raid. And I do want to check to see if we had a SMT at this high. I think NQ actually continued to go higher and ES dumped at the start of the day, but we can look back here at that real quick. Sorry, messy price. This is another trade that I took, but we'll get into that in a second. So I want to look at 9:30 open, right? So 9:30, no SMT actually. We ended up rating it on both indices, so no SMT is fine. I mean, if we had SMT here, this would have made me um, even more certain that we were gonna dump, but it just didn't happen. So we'll go back to ES here, and what do I see here? And I don't think there was no fair value gap here on ES, but I just want to check to make sure there's none here. Yeah, no fair value. Okay, so I see this liquidity right here, and then I see us dump below this bullish fair value gap right here. And what does that mean for us? Well, that means we get a inverse fair value gap right here. And then I see us create this right here, this little fair value gap right here. Not inverse, apologies. See us create this little fair value gap right here. And what do you see happen? Algorithmic delivery into the fair value gap right to 50% of it. So this is what this play looked like for me. Stop above the high here. So super low risk play. I'm under 5 handle stop, which is well within my reach. Targeted 5 handles, and what happens? We end up getting it right here. So 5 handle target. Looking back on it, now that I was identifying it being the distribution leg, probably could have wrote it down to at least this low right here, right? But nonetheless, my rules on my funded accounts pertain to 5 handles, take profit because I don't want to get caught with trailing drawdowns, right? So just being smart, taking profit when profit's given, pay the trader. So took that, and if you look here on the 5 minute, actually, we have a perfect like market maker model. It actually looks great. So um, that was a trade that I took, and I kind of want to draw out the market maker model for you. But um, short that I took this morning off of the 9:30 or 9:40 fair value gap, great entry. Just been feeling so in touch with the market recently. It's been awesome. So, perfect market maker model here. Let me draw this out for you. What do we buy side of the curve right here. And then what do we get on this side? Sell side of the curve, right? I mean, just perfect market maker model. Doesn't get much better than that, right? Beautiful market maker model. But so now I move on to the last plan ES that I took for the day. And where are we at? Perfect, right here. Okay. So if I move out to the hourly again, I see we've delivered to this for value gap, played out of that for value gap, and then I look and see we have this for value gap right here. And I just want to rewind so you can see the rejection out of this for value gap and how perfect that was. Boom, right there. Perfect. So what do? Drop to the 5 minute and look for our entry. And I will go to replay now. Drop to the 5 minute, look for our entry. Um, entry happens right here. Entry here. And we actually get an inverse for value gap right here as well. So we inverse the fair value gap, inverse fair value gap, entry here, and again, using my model, we take out the overnight liquidity or overnight low liquidity, dump into an hourly fair value gap, and what do we get? Entry here, targeting 5 handles, holding runners all the way up to the high, all the way up to the high. Didn't get there, unfortunately, which is fine. But, wait, actually, my entry was a little bit lower than this. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's right. Okay, this was less risk entry. Okay, okay. That's what it was. So my entry came off of this tiny fair value gap right here, which we had not inversed this fair value gap, but we do once I'm in the play, which is good. But my entry comes off of this fair value gap right here. Entry comes off this fair value gap, and look at that, just perfect wick into it. And we ride all the way up for an easy 5 handles right there. And runners got stopped at break even. I was targeting this, not break even, in profit. I was targeting this high and I was trailing my stop. And once I see us close above this inverse fair value gap, I don't want to see us return below this low just because we have a fair value gap here. And runners got stopped in profit with this candle right here. But got hit, take profit one, perfect trade. Stop out overnight liquidity, dump into an hourly fair value gap, and we pump out of the hourly fair value gap. Just a perfect overall day for my model and using hourly structure with 5 minute 5 minute fair value gaps. So that was trade number 3. Now I'll flip over to NQ and we can go over the NQ trades. So let me just show you. Okay, perfect. So here was the overnight trade that I took. So what am I seeing, right? So I'm seeing us, we have, okay, yeah. So hourly structure here. Go back, identify hourly structure here. And we have this very, very tiny fair value gap right here. Let me put it in rewind so I can show you what we were looking at. Very, very tiny fair value gap right here on the hourly. So beautiful wick rejection out of it. Dropped at the 5 minute, and what do I see? So I'm seeing this fair value gap right here. So in order for us to get an entry, I would like to see us dump below this low. Then that gives me confidence we're going to go to this low, at least, right? Granted, this one was when ES was dumping into that hourly fair value gap that I showed you before. So I did end up cutting this one early just to secure profit because I saw ES was starting to play out that fair value gap and I assumed NQ was going to start the rally as well. So I cut this one early for, I think it was, I want to say it was 20 handles of profit. I don't know. We'll look and see. So we'll play through. And as soon as I see this, that gives me confidence we're going lower. So you see my entry right here. And I will show you where I took off my play, or where I took it off. So dump below this low, and I wanted to hold it until hourly liquidity, which was all the way down here. But I ended up cutting it when you start to see the NQ move back up, just because I didn't want to mess with that. So I think I cut it right here, actually, with this first green close candle. So I cut it right there, and ended up getting, what was that? I mean, probably around 30 handles of profit. So it didn't quite get to final take profit, but with ES playing out of that fair value gap, I ended up getting another trade with the ES long overnight. So saw that one on NQ, perfect hourly structure with 5-minute entry following the inverse fair value gap with the bearish fair value gap that we get. So next, I'll show you the next play that I took today. So I think if I go to MNQ, actually, I'll have it pulled or have it drawn out. Let me Control Z here. Okay, never mind. So I'll show you what I got. So where was I? It was this afternoon. So I believe it was, forgive me. Oh shoot, let me go to MNQ. Can I pull that up? Nope, let me see. Maybe I can do it on this screen. Apologize. Nope. Darn. Okay, never mind. I'll find it. I'll find it. So I did not expect for it to delete all of that, and I wouldn't be able to Control Z it. So what do I see NQ doing? So I think what I saw this morning was, let's look. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so ES was playing into a, let's see, make sure I'm right. Let's see. Maybe NQ? One second, I apologize for this. But if you want to learn, please stay tuned. Okay, here's what I saw. So I see that we have sell side below us, okay? We have all of this liquidity below us. We have relative equal lows here. We have all of this sell side liquidity, right? And we get all of this liquidity right here. We get the liquidity right here. So what do I see? This inverse fair value gap right here. After this liquidity rate, and this may have even been SMT. I'm not sure if I checked for that, but I would check right now. Not SMT, liquidity rate. So we get that liquidity rate right there. See how it just wicks and it never closes below or closes above? It's perfect for me. Perfect. Yeah. I mean, technically it's SMT, but we had SMT all day today. I mean, NQ was rallying at the start of the day and ES was dumping. But either way, we have this SMT right here. So we have that NQ takes this high right here. ES does not take that high. So I'm seeing SMT here at the highs. I'm seeing an fair value gap get put in before we take that high, expecting it to turn into an inverse fair value gap with the liquidity rate. So what happens? Inverse fair value gap right here. I enter right here, which I had a terrible, terrible fill on this, but enter right here, stop above the body here, just because I'm not expecting us to come back up to here anyways. If we come back up to here, I'm taking the loss. So, and then I held it to this low right here, was able to get 44 handles of profit right there. Looking back on it, could have held to the relative equal lows that I wanted to target originally. Hindsight, what I need to get better at is being able to hold trades longer. That's kind of something I struggle with right now, but it's not really that big of a problem, especially when you're dealing with prop firms that require trailing drawdown limits. So it's kind of good to take it all off just because you don't have to worry about the trailing drawdown. But I was able to take this trade just because liquidity rate, SMT at the high, dump through a inverse fair value gap, and then expecting to go lower with much liquidity to go below us. So yeah, those are the 5 plays that I took today. If you guys are interested in learning more about how I trade, be sure to follow me on Twitter as I post daily. Like, comment, subscribe on this YouTube. Keep up to date with the content that I post. I drop all the knowledge that I know for completely free. And then be sure to join the Discord. So with that, I will end it there. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one. Keep up to date at Nux Trades. See you next time. Safe trading and peace.